A night shift hospital becomes a trap when a calm, cold surgeon begins speaking like the building belongs to him. As alarms fail and doors lock, a terrified nurse realizes the routine is not routine at all. Every hallway turns into a test, every light flicker feels planned, and the voice guiding the night keeps promising a final lesson the listener won't forget. Chapter 1: Night Shift, Locked Doors. You can always tell who belongs in a hospital after midnight. The ones who belong move quietly. They don't ask questions they don't want answered. They don't wander. They don't look at the wrong door for too long. And then there are the others. The curious ones. The loud ones. The ones who think a building full of sleeping people is still a public place. I'm speaking to you like you're here with me, because in a way you are. You're listening, aren't you? That's how it starts. You give me your attention. You give me time. And time is the easiest thing to take. They call me a surgeon. That word makes people relax. They picture clean hands and bright lights and a safe ending. They picture rules. This is the part where you should understand something simple. Rules are just stories people tell themselves so they can sleep. Tonight, the elevators hesitate like they're afraid. The hall lights flicker like they want to look away. The air smells like disinfectant and old fear. And every door that should open for you won't. Because I prepared the night. I always do. So take a breath. Listen close. If you hear a soft rolling squeak in the hallway, that's not a cart. That's a choice being pushed toward you. Chapter 2: The Operating Room Voice. There's a certain sound an operating room makes when it's empty. Not silence. Not peace. More like waiting. The machines sit there like they're holding their breath. The overhead lamp hangs like a bright, patient eye. Stainless steel reflects everything honestly, which is why most people hate it. Metal doesn't flatter. It doesn't forgive. I step into the light and I become what people expect. Calm, controlled, professional. Bottle green scrub. White coat. Clean posture. Slow movements. The kind that tells you I'm not rushed, because I'm not. I don't need speed. Speed is for amateurs and accidents. I prefer precision. On the table is a body under a sheet. Not a monster. Not a hero. Just a person who trusted the wrong system at the wrong hour. The wristband has numbers. The chart has boxes checked. The paperwork says everything is fine. Paper is so easy to lie with. If you're wondering why I'm talking instead of working, you've already made the first mistake. You think the knife is the main part of the story. It isn't. The main part is the voice. The voice tells you what's happening. The voice tells you what you can do. The voice tells you it's useless to fight. The voice tells you to stay still so you don't make it worse. That's what a good surgeon does. He manages fear. And fear, once you hold it right, cuts deeper than steel. Chapter 3: The Nurse Who Ran. She came in like they always do, trying to be brave, trying to be useful. A nurse on a night shift is a person balancing exhaustion and responsibility, telling herself that if she follows the rules, she'll be safe. She held a clipboard like it was armor. Her hands were steady, but her eyes weren't. Her eyes saw the wrong detail first. Not the sheet, not the lamp, not the monitors, the knife. People always see the blade and forget the rest of the room. They forget the locked cabinets. They forget the quiet corners. They forget how far the nearest exit really is. She backed up. She spoke my title like it was a spell. Doctor, as if the word could turn me into someone else. I corrected her without raising my voice. Quiet, I said. You'll wake them. That's the game, you see. The hospital is full of sleepers. Patients. Families in waiting rooms. Staff dozing in break areas. It's a building built around unconsciousness. People come here to be put under, to be kept under, to be told later that everything went fine. She ran. Shoes striking tile. Breath breaking. A door handle rattling. Another door that wouldn't open. She learned quickly. This place is a maze when you're afraid, and I know the map better than anyone. I didn't chase like a movie villain. I walked. I let her hear me. I let her imagine what was behind her. Because what you imagine is always worse than what you see. And I am very good at making you imagine. Chapter 4: Security, Static, and Silence. People love to believe security is a wall. It isn't. It's a person in a chair, staring at screens, letting boredom dull his instincts. It's a radio that crackles at the wrong time. It's a key ring that someone leaves on a hook because they're sure they'll remember it later. The guard finally noticed something was wrong when the cameras started acting strange. A hallway feed went dark, then another, then the stairwell, like the building itself was blinking. He reached for his radio. That's a common gesture. Very human, very hopeful. Hope is loud. It makes promises it can't keep. I stepped into the doorway and watched him process what he was seeing. His eyes jumped from my coat to my hands. He tried to stand up and say something brave, but brave is hard when you realize you're alone. I didn't have to shout. I didn't have to explain. I just let the silence do what it does best, stretch. The hospital filled the gap with its own sounds, distant intercom static, a vending machine motor, a far-off door bumping in a draft. Ordinary noises, the kind that usually mean nothing. Tonight, they meant nobody was coming. He understood that, and his face changed. That moment, when someone realizes the rules won't save them, is my favorite moment. Not because of what comes after, because of what comes before. The instant their confidence collapses. The instant they stop being a worker with a job and become a living thing trying to survive. That instant is pure, honest, and honesty is rare. Chapter 5, The Lesson on the Table. You think the worst part is the threat. It's not. The worst part is the waiting while someone else decides what you are. Back in the operating room, the lights are too bright to hide in. The air is too cold to pretend it's a dream. The machines keep their rhythm like they don't care who's afraid. The nurse stands near the instrument cart, trapped between fear and a wall that doesn't move. Her eyes search for anything, a phone, a button, a miracle. I give her something else, truth. You were trained to follow, I tell her. Trained to trust the chart. Trained to trust the badge. Trained to trust the door code. You were trained to believe the building is on your side. I let that settle. Look around, I say. Does it feel like it's on your side? She doesn't answer. Her throat works, but no sound comes out. That's another thing people don't understand. Fear steals your voice first. It takes your words and leaves you with noise. I move closer, not fast, not frantic, controlled. The knife catches the light. The light catches her tears. Everything is clear. That's the point. I want no confusion about who is in control of this room. Here is the lesson, I say, and my voice stays level. When the world tells you to relax, you should ask who benefits from your calm. Her knees shake. The monitor beeps. Somewhere far away, a door slams like punctuation. And you listening, feel it too, don't you? That tightening in your chest. That thought, what would I do? Good. Keep that thought. It's the only honest thought you've had all day. Chapter 6, Quiet Hours. Hospitals have rules posted on the walls like prayers. Quiet hours. Authorized personnel only. Do not enter. They are not warnings. They are decorations. People pass them every day and stop seeing them. The sign becomes wallpaper. The rule becomes background. That's how I know most of you are easy to guide. You don't notice the important things until they touch you. The night keeps moving. The building keeps breathing. Somewhere, alarms start to wake up, late and confused, like a dog barking after the thief is already inside. I walk the corridor with the patience of someone who knows time belongs to him. My shoes don't squeak. My hands don't shake. I don't need to rush toward an ending, because the ending comes to everyone. What I want is simpler. I want you to remember this voice the next time you sit in a waiting room. The next time you sign a form without reading it. The next time you let a stranger in a clean coat tell you, this won't hurt. People think monsters look like monsters. They don't. They look like workers. They look like help. They look like somebody you're supposed to trust. The lights flicker once more. The hallway narrows into shadow. And the hospital returns to what it does best, putting the world to sleep. But if you're still listening, then you didn't fall asleep. And that means you're paying attention. Good. That's the first step to staying alive. If you made it to the end, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and make sure you don't miss the next story. Give this video a like, comment what part hit you the hardest, and share it with a friend who loves scary hospital horror and psychological thrillers.